Dr. Manrina Rhode.
Thank you. Hello, ladies. It's the after lunch shift, so it's like the sleepy shift. However, it's quite an exciting topic, so at least it's not clinical, as much as I love clinical dentistry. We're talking about social media and AI. So using AI to create social media content. Obviously, I'm Dr. Manrina Rhode. I own DRMR Clinic and Academy. And I want to let you guys know what's out there at the moment because it's such a quickly evolving space, AI and AI use for social media. This is my Instagram page. If you guys want to film me and post about being here today, then please tag me when you do it. It's not the kind of lecture where I'm like, don't take photos. You can film whatever you like. You can take photos of whatever you like. You can record whatever you like. We're recording the whole thing. Yeah, he's recording the whole thing. We're going to put it on YouTube afterwards, so it will be on the DRMR Academy YouTube page. If you want to watch back the lecture again, if there's any bits that you want to check what it was that I referred to. So yeah, that's me, Dr. Manrina Rhode. Yeah, so social media, the new word of mouth. I don't know if it's that new anymore, but it's definitely becoming more and more important, and people are starting to realize that. I think when I started posting on Instagram in 2011, there was a lot of people being like, "Are you all right? Like, why do you keep putting pictures up of everything you're doing on the internet?" And I was like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine, thank you, and I'm enjoying it very much. And as the years evolved, those same people came back to me and said, oh, can you show me how to do it? I was like, yeah, of course I can. Come along. When we looked at our figures with our clinic to look at our turnover and the acquisition source of that turnover and percentages of where the money was coming from, the largest percentage of turnover still came from word of mouth. Word of mouth's really powerful. If we're giving excellent service, we're providing a 5-star service, we're kind to our patients, we're doing beautiful treatments, our patients can see that we care, then they will refer us other patients. And we know as a group how powerful word of mouth is, right? When you're sitting with someone and having a chat and they say, oh, go to Japan, then you're like, oh, I'd go to Japan and I'll stay at the hotel. And then you just pretty much book it without thinking about it because it's been a word of mouth recommendation. However, after that initial chunk that came from word of mouth, the next big chunk of money that came into the clinic came from my Instagram page, from my Dr. Manrina Rhode organic Instagram page. That's where they found me, that's where they came from, and that's where they spent money with us at DRMR Clinic. So it's a really powerful referral source when used. And so often, in my mentorship, program, I'm always saying, okay, let's post. We did in January, instead of doing dry January, we had posting January. So we said, let's post every single day in January. It doesn't matter which platform you post on, but post something every day and let's see what happens. And, I'm not always as consistent as that. And with me being consistent through January, we had 25% increase in number of visits to our website, which was crazy, 25%. Wow. Equally, my mentees come back and, someone just posted this week a new mentee saying, oh, I just got my first patient that came in from Instagram. Oh, this stuff really works, doesn't it? It's like, yeah, it really works. If you post consistently, then the patients will come. And obviously your reach is so much greater online than it can ever be through word of mouth or in real life. So social media, new word of mouth. Patients look for results. They want visual proof of your transformations. They want to learn about expertise. They want to know if you're knowledgeable. They want to know about your personality, and you need to be able to build trust. So with the first one, and we're not talking about AI yet, we're just talking about social media at the moment, results. If you have an Instagram or social media page where all you have is before and after pictures, then patients won't really enjoy looking at it. That dentists will enjoy looking at it. So if you want to attract dentists, then go ahead and post pictures of teeth and everyone will love it. If you want to attract patients, I like to show my cases. I like to show my cases because the treatment that I predominantly do is porcelain veneers. And so I want my patients to see my veneers and I want them to point at cases that I've done and bring them into me and say, can you give me a smile like that? And then I get a really good idea about what it is that they're looking for. But so you want to kind of scatter your work throughout your page. I don't know if you want to scatter your composites, even if they're as beautiful as Kira's. I don't know if any patient cares about that. But if you're doing lovely clear aligners, like Sandy, I know she had to leave, or if you're doing beautiful porcelain work bonding, whatever, and you've got some smiles to show, then showcase your work. Patients don't always know what good work looks like. Quite often, people will message me on Instagram and say, I don't think I can afford you, so I'm going to go to this dentist. What do you think? And firstly, I'm like, wow, that's so cheeky. Secondly, have you even looked at how much I charge? Like, why do you think you can't afford me? And quite often the pictures that they send are really terrible. Like, I look at the person's work that they're sending me, and you're like, oh, that's who you want to go to. I don't know this person, but this bonding looks bad. And obviously, I don't say that because that's not who I am, and that's not who I want to be, and I don't think it's even my place. So I just say, oh, I don't know this person, but you should go wherever you feel comfortable. So yeah, post results, but don't post too many. Posting expertise is really important, and it's really important because it was always important to answer questions for SEO, right? So that we would show up on Google, and even more so when Google started showing videos. And we wanted to make videos answering frequently asked questions. And then Google started, when people typed in that question, they'd show them our video, and that was a great way for patients to find us. And now with AI, it's even more so, right? I'm loving it. ChatGPT is my best friend. It sends me patients every week. Patients from all over the world. Patients go on there and they're like, who does the best veneers? Who does the best natural veneers? Who does the London look? And it's like, Dr. Manrina Rhode, Dr. Manrina Rhode. Dr. Manrina Rhode is blah, 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 blah. And ChatGPT spiels off all these wonderful things about me. And patients are sold. I had a patient come to me last month who was having their Invisalign done with an orthodontist, not you, Claire. And they said, they went to ChatGPT, they put the treatment plan in and said, what do you think? And ChatGPT was like, oh, you should really be going to Dr. Manrina Rhode for this. So they contacted the clinic and they said, I'm having this orthodontic treatment with this orthodontist. This is my treatment plan, but ChatGPT says I should see Dr. Rhode. What do you think? And I was like, no, go and see your orthodontist. Really, you don't want to see me for this. So ChatGPT gets it wrong as well. But by showing your expertise, by answering questions, not only does it mean that we now show up on Google, it means that we show up on Gemini and on ChatGPT and on Claude and all the other platforms that people are now going to for their answers. I would say the most important thing about your social media presence is showcasing your personality. And that's the bit that all of us are really scared of. Like, well, not all of us, but a lot of us have imposter syndrome about showing up online. We feel nervous about seeing ourselves on camera and what we look like. But if you don't showcase your personality, then your page feels bland. I wanted to say feels dead, like it feels like it doesn't have any life to it. I think clinic pages can be like that, like just have pictures of the clinic and offers that you've got or whatever else. But for your personal brand and for your page to really pop, you need to showcase your personality. And again, in my mentorship, sometimes the mentees will say, oh, but I don't do exciting things like some other dentists. I don't drive sports cars or fly in private jets or, go on these holidays. And what I like to do is go for walks in the woods with my kids. And I was like, but that's amazing, right? Like, as a person, a human being, if I was following someone on Instagram and they showed me that what they do at the weekend is go for walks with their family in the wood, I would feel like, oh, I really like that person. That's, I'd probably like them better than the person driving the sports car or flying in the private jet. And so you attract your tribe. Like, if that's what he likes doing, then the people who like doing that will go and see him for treatments, and actually probably doesn't want the people who want to see the dentist with the Lamborghinis. Maybe he wants the dentist that goes for walks in the woods. Not that there's anything wrong with driving a Lamborghini. Like, good for you if you do. So show your personality, and then building trust. And the only way to build trust is to be authentic. So as soon as any one of us are trying to be someone else, so say, you're like, oh, I want to be a veneer dentist. I like Manrina. Let me do everything that she does. And I've had so many patients who have come into my clinic and come on my courses and said, I'm going to build exactly this clinic in Nottingham, in Scotland, in wherever, I've had dentists come from abroad saying that they're taking pictures of everything, saying they're going to build my clinic wherever it is that they're building. And I'm like, that's great. When you do it, let me know. I'd love to see it. Because actually, when any one of us does anything, we bring our own personality to it. Hopefully, we bring our own authenticity to it. And so I've not got any issues with anyone out here copying anything that I do. And actually, that's quite exciting, and I'd like to see what you do with it. But what I would encourage everyone to do is to look inside themselves and work out who they are, and then bring that part of themselves to social media. And through that, it will really shine through. When you're authentic, everyone can feel it. The thing about being online is it's the same thing as being in real life, right? When you meet someone, you talk to them honestly, they can feel it. And when you speak to someone and you're a bit like, they can feel it as well, right? So we really want to be our authentic self as much as possible. So social media is the modern referral system. I bet you guys are like, when do you get to the AI bit? It's coming. Here it is. Right. Authenticity. I made this image last night. I didn't go to London Fashion Week. I have my own photo shoots. I have photo shoots at least once a year, and I encourage other dentists to do the same thing. I think it's really valuable to spend a day having someone take some pictures of you in different outfits and different situations, and then I just use them all year online for my covers from LinkedIn and for Instagram and anywhere else that we're posting. But when I was having my photo shoot last month, one of my mentees said to me, why don't you just make your images with AI? Why are you going to spend a whole day and spend £2,000 having your pictures taken? And I was like, that's a good point, and it might be the last photo shoot that I have. I want to be authentic, but actually things are really moving. So I made this last night using Glam app. I just put one photo of myself in, and in the photo I was wearing a full Indian get-up Lenga on my way to a wedding, and from that they created this, and it's so accurate. Like, even to me, looking at that's my face, that's my body, that's my hair. Like,
you're more beautiful.
Thank you. That's really kind. But that's the way AI is moving, right? So AI now, and this is just Glam app, which isn't an expensive app, and there's more expensive platforms out there. And if you take a photo shoot you've had in real life, so that I got 360 images from the photo shoot that I had last month, and if I uploaded all of those 360 images into one of the paid apps, so it had my face from every single angle, and then just told it to change my outfit, change my position, and change my color, and told it what I wanted images of, then I could have images of anything. There's a business group that I'm part of that had 3 of them got together for dinner the other night, and they forgot to take a picture. So the guy just put their photos into AI and said, create a picture of us having dinner together, and then they had their picture. So, that's AI. This one's not so... I was like, show me what I look like at Coachella. I was like, oh, I look good at Coachella. I look like Beyonce. I wasn't at Coachella. The problem that dentists have is they think that they need to have perfect videos. As dentists, we're perfectionists. We think we need to be perfect all the time. It's like dental school chooses that personality type. We think we need professional filming, we think we need lots of time, and we think that we need to have constant creativity in our own head, like, what am I going to post about? What's the hook going to be? Oh, I can't think of a really good topic, so I'm just not going to do it. These are the things that limit us and stop us from actually posting. But actually, the real challenge is not what to post, and it's not equipment, and it's not time. It's a blank page problem, and that's where AI steps in. So, you don't want to have perfect videos. You don't actually want to get professionally filmed videos where you can see that you've had a photo shoot done and you've got the perfect lighting and whatever. It's not authentic. It doesn't feel like to the patients like this is real life and that they're getting to know you. It's fine if you're building a personal brand or you're trying to show off the brand of your clinic. But if you want your patients to actually resonate with you and see who you are, within that, you need to intersperse organic content, which is just you grabbing a camera and talking. You're not perfectly made up. You haven't got a face of makeup. One of my mentees said to me the other day, she was like, I love following you on Instagram, Manrina, because you just go on there without any makeup on. I was like, yeah, I do. I don't feel any pressure to look any certain way. I can have just fit, 20 veneers and hair's messy, makeup's off and whatever, and I'll just jump on and talk to the camera because we're not models, we're clinicians. And that's okay. We don't need to look a certain way. What we want to do is get our message across. I don't bother with professional filming, and no one needs to. There's nothing wrong with using an iPhone. Even for filming this for YouTube, we've just got my iPhone up there filming us. We're not using any more than that. We don't need lots of time. It's something you can very quickly film in between patients. And you don't need constant creativity because now we can use AI. So this is where AI helps. I don't use AI massively at the moment. I don't use it to create my photos yet. I still have real photos out there. And I don't use it to create my videos, and I'm going to show you in a minute how you can use it to create videos. But where I do use it is to create content ideas. And for those of you that came to my social media day, we talked about this and how that workflow works. So AI will generate content ideas, it will write your script, it will write your captions, and it will work out how you can repurpose your content. So basically, AI works as your assistant. You want to start thinking about the types of content that you're going to put out there. So educational, like we talked about, answering frequently asked questions, so that when they ask on Google, your content comes up. When they ask AI these questions, your content and your answers come up. You want to position yourself as the authority. So again, answering questions does that. When you win awards, when you lecture at events, when you do anything that positions you as the expert, you want to showcase that on social media. You want to show some behind the scenes, like show what happens at your clinic, show your team, show what goes on so they can really get to know you and feel like they understand what sort of clinic you are. You want to show transformations. That's before and after pictures, that's patient stories. You can make little videos, following the patient through their journey and their before and after and how they felt and why they chose to come and see you. And then you want to show them something about your personal brand, so who you are as a dentist and what's important to you. So I would go to my AI system of choice. At the moment, that's ChatGPT. I know some people use Gemini, and I'm just on a journey with Claude at the moment. And I was actually hesitating to send Claire my lecture because I had a session this week about someone who's on this in-depth Claude course on how to use Claude as your marketing assistant, which I'll tell you more about in a minute. But for now, I would go to ChatGPT. Now, the main thing with using AI is that AI works better the better prompt you give it. So as much as this, ask AI, give me 20 Instagram reel ideas about porcelain veneers, is great, if you start it with acting as a marketing manager and communication expert, give me, so you're giving it context and AI's got more of an idea about what sort of content you want from it. Sometimes you'll put that in and the results will be quite average. So, okay, it came out with 3 myths about veneers, when veneers are the wrong treatment, why veneers shouldn't look fake, etc. And then you choose one of the ideas and you say to AI to write your script for you. So then it writes the script of what you should say in your reel. It writes your captions, it writes the hook line, and it writes, what you'll put underneath the reel. It gives you a hook, an explanation, and a clear structure, and then you film it. So I like to use the Edits app. It's a free app that Instagram created, so Instagram really likes it. And if you use Edits to create your content and then you post it straight to Instagram, Instagram actually boosts your content because it likes it that you used its own app. The other really great thing about the Edits app is it's got a teleprompter built into it. So it's super easy. You literally grab your script from ChatGPT, edit it so it sounds you feel like it's authentic to you and it sounds like you. It'll give you a gist, but maybe it's not the exact advice you would give, but at least it stops that barrier of not having the idea. So you've got your script, you go onto the Edits app, you click on the teleprompter side, and you paste your script. And then once that's on there, you can move the teleprompter to wherever you want on your iPhone. You can change the size of the text, so it's really big if you struggle to see up close. And you can have it at any speed you want as well. So depending, if you talk very fast like me, it can move very quickly. And if you want to actually create content and talk slower, you can slow it down and leave space for pauses. And then you just click record and you can read it while you go. And what's interesting is we actually created ads recently for the last webinar we did. We did a veneer cementation webinar a couple of weeks ago. And I made one ad where I was reading from the teleprompter, and then I made another ad where I just spoke. And I loved the ad where I just spoke, because in it I felt really authentic and I was looking around and talking about why correct veneer cementation technique is so important. But the one that did really well, and actually you guys all signed up to, was the one where I was reading from the teleprompter. So people engage with that. You know, it still works, even though for you, you feel like we've still got this thing, I think, as women, and maybe men have it too, I don't know, we've only got you in the room, Chris, so you'll have to laugh. But definitely as women, we have a thing where we think if we use AI or we use the tools that are available to us, that we feel like we're cheating. And actually, I can do this, I can make this real, and I know my script without getting ChatGPT to write it for me. So why would I get ChatGPT to write it? I'll just speak it because I know the answer. But men won't worry as much about it. They'll just go and they'll use the tools that are available. They'll use all of AI's tools that are available, and they'll overtake us. And we're already fighting this battle against trying to catch up with being seen and being heard and being featured. If we let them do that and we don't use the tools available, then we're going to be left way behind. So we've got to embrace it, right? We've got to move with it. And there's no harm in it if we can get over the mindset shift.
Just like in anything.
Just like with anything.
Because you think, sometimes I think, what will my husband do in this situation? And I think, I'm just going to behave like him. Yes, sometimes I'm coming home, I'm saying, oh, so and so at work did this and this. She says, what's wrong with you then? Just go to work and work. I said, no, it's a small practice, you know. We're small, it's not a big company like you, and you can just walk in and sit down and do your work and so on. Well, I have to sort this out before I go back to work. She says, no, just walk in and do your work. And then I walk in and I do my work and everybody's fine. You know, some situations we work things out so much in our head thinking, what am I going to do? But my colleague is a man as well, and he said, just tell the patient to F off. And I'm thinking, did you say that? And then
I don't know if that's great advice.
Sorry, and then I said, yes, sometimes she does not swear, but you know, like, okay. I said, you can't. First of all, you're a man. Whatever you say, they'll just listen to you. Oh. And I will just think about being apologetic and so on. But sometimes I think, okay. And then when I do it, he says, you are learning.
Ah, there you go. Well, you know, I think it can work either way. I think Chris quite often says that when he's in a situation, he thinks, what would Manrina do? And I think a lot of the mentees, they have a phrase within the mentorship where they say, you know, what would Manrina do? And then they do that. So maybe it's not always a sex thing. Sometimes maybe it's a confidence thing or a self-esteem thing. And then that's a whole bigger lecture and conversation, isn't it?
Or maybe it's a nurturing thing.
Oh, what? Nurturing?
Trait
Maybe.
that sometimes we have. You know, you're thinking, oh, okay. But then why are you always apologizing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's nurturing to be apologetic. But yeah, maybe. Okay, so it's a 10-minute content creation system. You go onto your chosen platform, you ask them for ideas, you choose a topic, you ask them for a script, you go and you film the script on edits, and you ask AI to write the caption. And you put it all together on your Instagram, and you schedule it to come out at a time when everyone's online, in morning before work, at lunchtime, or in the evenings, and that's it, and it's out, and it's done, and it took 10 minutes. So, you know, AI can really help us to create content very quickly. And I think that really definitely for me, the thing that used to stop me was the ideas thing. I'd be like, okay, I get it, I can pick up a camera and just film, but what should I talk about? What should I talk about? And the hook, what can the hook be so that it's actually exciting and people want to see it? So now AI works that out for me. The mistake that people make is they think it needs to be polished, they think it needs to be perfect, and they think it needs to be highly produced, and it doesn't need to be any of that. It just needs to get out. And I've written underneath, I haven't written it here, but I say it quite often, consistency over perfection. Like, you just need to just keep going. Just get it out, you know, productivity over perfection. Like, God, I say it to my team as well, like, just go on, that newsletter's great, just get it out. Stop worrying about, but could it be better? You know, it's good enough, and that's, I think, how social media needs to be. The best content's simple, it's educational, and mainly it's authentic. Patients connect with clarity and trust, and really you want to be authentic over impressive. I think we worry too much about being impressive all the time, and if we're just ourselves, then we'll attract our own tribe. These are some AI-generated content apps that I've been playing with at the moment. So CapCut's fun, and I'm going to show you that in a sec. Claude Code, I've got a big session coming up on this, and it's something that I'm just getting into, but I've got a friend who's in a program to learn to use it, and what she does is puts in transcripts of what she said all day, so all her Zoom calls, her meetings, the conversation that she has. She's taught Claude Code who she is, about her personality types, and there's certain prompts that you can put in initially so that Claude can really understand who you are. And then from there, you upload all your transcripts from the day or from the week. And then you tell Claude that you want it to write 10 LinkedIn posts for you based on the stuff that's happened to you this week. And so then Claude Code writes your LinkedIn posts and uploads it to your scheduling software. And then it creates AI-generated images to go with that post. And the correct hashtags, and has it all ready for you just to approve. And once you've approved it, it schedules it out at the time that your followers are most online. So that's revolutionizing the way that we create content, right? That is content that's created specifically for you based on real life stories of what you've been through that week. And that's important, for content. That's what content is. It's storytelling. If we just sit here and we regurgitate information without adding in stories, it's boring. And you'll have noticed that this morning in the lectures that we had. There were such brilliant lectures, and it's all good to be clinical, but then through that, stories came out. How funny was Kieran in her, the bits. And everyone who spoke this morning, there were little stories, and those were the fun bits. That okay, we've got the clinical bit, but this is the fun bit. So yeah, Claude Code's an interesting one, and that's ever evolving, and we're in that journey at the moment. And then one of my other friends' husband is an accountant, and he has content videos that come out every day, and he uses HeyGen AI, which doesn't have great reviews actually. I looked it up. I had to play with some of these last week, and he just gets these scripts from ChatGPT, and then he puts them in HeyGen AI, and HeyGen AI has learned his image, and it makes a video of him saying whatever it is that the script says, and then he puts the content out every day. So he has videos that go out every day, and he's not actually filmed any of them. It's just his image. So on that note, I made this video for you guys. Hello, Women's Dentist Network. I hope you're having fun at our annual conference. And this one could be me as well.
नमस्ते विमेंस डेंटिस्ट नेटवर्क। मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप हमारे वार्षिक सम्मेलन में मजे कर रहे हैं।
But do you believe this one's me?
Bonjour, réseau des dentistes féminines. J'espère que vous vous amusez à notre conférence annuelle.
And if I was really impressive, this one could be me as well.
您好，女性牙医网络，希望你们在我们的年会上玩得愉快。
So I recorded the first video and put it into CapCut. You select the video, click on audio, and then there's a multitude of languages that you can choose from. The really clever thing about it is that it lip-synced my own lips to move with the new audio and language that I was speaking. How cool is that? So finally, you can use social media to grow your own tribe. I'm not asking you guys to be an influencer. I'm not saying to look a certain way or come across a certain way. What I'm asking you to do is to be authentically yourself so that you attract the type of people that you want to see to do the type of treatments that you want to do. Using social media, you can educate your patients, you can build trust because they can see who you are, and through that, you can grow your practice with the type of patients that you want to come in. If you'd like to learn more about the courses we offer and my various thoughts over the week, then you can use this QR code to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. It's full of tips, tricks, and useful insights, so I hope to see you there.